Hi, my name's Jess, and I work at Regents University in London. So I'm going to talk to you a bit today about why you should come and study in the UK and London in specifically, and also why Regents, why this university. So one thing that a lot of students have been asking me over the past couple of days is what's going to happen with Brexit if you choose to come to the UK. But luckily for us at Regents, we're a private university. And what that means is that we don't take any money from the government, so we won't be affected by Brexit. So if you came to study with us, we welcome all international students, and there won't be any problems when Brexit happens. So here's a picture of the campus. So as you can see, we're in the centre of London, but we're inside the Royal Regent's Park. And I think it's such an amazing location because you're really well connected, but it's a very relaxed atmosphere. So you have, here is Oxford Street, if anyone's been shopping there, and here is Baker Street. So everything is very central. We have two campuses. One is this main one, and another one is in Marylebone. The Marylebone campus is for more creative subjects. So that could be drama, maybe if you want to do fashion design, you would be on the other campus. We have a lot of partner universities around the world, and we have 140 different nationalities on campus. So we're 80% international students and 20% UK. And what that means is that in your classroom, you could be with people from all over the world, so from Asia, Latin America, and Europe too. A lot of people have obviously been asking me, well, what's the difference between Regents and a larger university? One of the things I would say is that we have really high contact hours. What that means is that in some universities, you might just have 8 hours a week of lectures, and then you're by yourself. But at Regents, we have more time in the classroom, so about 20 hours a week. There's a lot of opportunities to learn a new language, either as part of your course or maybe an evening class. And you can choose to study German, French, Spanish, Japanese, Mandarin Chinese, Russian. So there's a lot of different opportunities for language learning. And also you can choose to study abroad. So that's either for a whole year or maybe for a semester. And we actually have one of our partner universities here today, and they're the Vancouver Film School. So if you want to come to our store at STUDIN, and then you can speak to them as well. Something that's really important is that our graduates go on to earn £10,000 on average more each year than other graduates. And the reason behind the salaries being higher is that we have a lot of support for the students. We have a really good careers and business team. So they can help you with your CV and things like that to make sure that you get a good job once you leave. Here's a short video just to kind of show you the campus and give you more of a feel for the university. So yeah, that's just kind of to show you what the campus looks like in general, and also give you a bit of an insight into how the classes are. So one thing that you might have realized from the video is that the classes are really small. So typically we have about 15 students in a class. The highest would be 20. And what that means is that you get to know your teacher on a one-to-one basis, also your classmates too. And it means that they have more time to get to know you. So they get to know your strengths, your weaknesses, your goals, what you want to do after university. And it means that your teachers can really help you with this and watch you progress, which is great. I would say, yeah, so our history is actually, we used to be the European Business School, their London campus. And then we were an American university, Webster, their London campus too. We merged together to become Regents. We want to sort of keep the elements of the US style degree programs. So we offer liberal studies as one of our courses. Has anyone ever heard of liberal studies before? Or do you know what it is? No? Okay, I'll explain a bit later on when I come to the courses. And also we're really industry focused, like I was saying. So we have a lot of career support. In your classes, you're not just writing essays. You're doing pitching, presenting, you're doing a lot of group work. So you're kind of being assessed in the way that you would in the real world, which means that students are really equipped for when they go and get a job. In terms of support, you get allocated a personal tutor, and they're the person you go to with any of your problems. So if you're, for example, having a problem with an essay and you need some extra help, your tutor can meet with you for an hour or an hour and a half and go through it with you. So there's a lot of personal attention. We also have an app so you can manage all your courses and your timetable on your phone. We have English language support for anyone who's struggling, because obviously university level studies is a lot harder than school. So, and if you're writing in English, sometimes you might need some help, and yeah, there's a service for that. Obviously I was talking about careers. So one of the services we have is that you can book one-to-one appointments with a careers advisor. And then that careers advisor can help you with your CV, your cover letter, your LinkedIn. If you are applying for an internship or a job, they can do interview practice with you, because obviously that's something that's quite difficult to begin with, but the more you practice, the better you'll be and the more natural it'll be. We have a lot of events on and off campus, like networking events. So recently we've had one of the heads of the catwalks in London come in and talk about fashion and trends, and that event was free for students. We also host the International Peace Summit, so if you're interested in international relations or politics, then you can come to that event and network as well. And yeah, we also have an area called the Hive, which is basically a space for students who want to start up their own businesses. So there's help for them if they need help with their business plan, with their modeling, if they need to sort of find another student to help them with marketing or branding or anything like that. All the services for those students are in the Hive, and it's free, and they can use it as an office space as well. So they can go and work in between lectures, which is quite cool. Yeah, employability. So one of the things I always mention is that we have these things called Regents clubs, and there's one today in Stockholm. And what it is that students, once they leave Regents, there's like social events that they can go to in their home country. So tonight, I think I'm meeting with 15 students who went to Regents, but they're Swedish and now they live in Stockholm. And we're going to go for dinner and drinks, and it's just a way of them keeping their friends from Regents when they're back in the country. There's a couple of figures in here. I think this is kind of important to note that 93% of the graduates are employed or in further education 6 months after leaving, and 81% of those are in graduate level jobs. What that means is that students don't graduate and then they just work in a restaurant or a bar. It means that they're actually doing something that's related to their course. Yeah, and like I said, on average, our students earn most sort of higher than on average in the UK. These are the course areas we offer. So film, media and performance, psychotherapy and psychology, business and management, liberal arts and humanities, fashion and design, and politics and international relations, which falls as part of liberal arts and humanities. So I'll explain a bit about these programs now. In business and management, we have an international business program. That's 4 years long. And the reason why it's 4 years instead of 3 is because you go abroad for a year. So you pick a language, so it can be any of these. And in your 3rd year, you go abroad and you study for 6 months and then you work for 6 months. So if you wanted to study Spanish, you could go to a business school in Madrid for 6 months, but you're taught in English. And then you can find an internship in Chile or in Mexico. So you can change, you can swap over, as long as the country speaks their language. You can also start the language from beginners, so you don't have to have any prior knowledge of that language that you choose. And yeah, we have 200 partners in 36 different countries. And this program is more of a general business program, so you look at marketing, finance, business law, sustainability, everything. It's a bit of everything. We also have foundation courses, so that's for people who are maybe not so confident with business and they want to learn the basics before they then go on to do their bachelor's. And we have a program called Global Management. Basically, this program is for people who want to specialize more. So you already know the kind of area of business that you're interested in. So enterprise and innovation, starting up your own businesses, that kind of thing, finance, leadership and management, and then marketing. We also have fashion and design programs. We have the foundation course as well. And then we have fashion design with marketing, fashion marketing, interior design, and graphic and digital design. These programs, they normally go and work in the Marylebone campus in the art school. You're taught by people who are really active in the fashion and design industries at the moment. So our head of programs, Mark Ely, him and his wife actually have their own agency, which is design and both fashion and interiors. And they have collaborated in the past with Vans. So the people that you're being taught by are people that are actually really involved in their area of work, and they have really good contacts as well. And that's something really important if you're looking to do fashion or design in particular. Then we have film, media and performance. So there's acting, and then there's film and screen, so production, screenwriting and producing, or TV and digital media. And acting for stage and screen. So what the teachers noticed was that a lot of students were prepared for classical work, maybe in the theatre, but they weren't really ready if they wanted to do an acting job, say for a TV series, something on Netflix, or a short film. So this kind of prepares students for both avenues. And we have a partnership with Vancouver Film School, like I said earlier, and the screenwriting and producing students can also win a scholarship. And this scholarship, they go on a program, a course run by a Hollywood screenwriter, and he trains all the Pixar screenwriters. So yeah, that's an amazing scholarship if you can get that. Liberal studies. So what liberal studies is, I describe it as a DIY degree. So you can pick the subjects that interest you most and you can combine them together. So if you're someone who says, I'm really interested in business, but also I want to do psychology and I don't want to choose just one of them, you can actually pair those two together. Or you could study international relations as your main subject, your major, and then you could choose politics with a bit of public relations. So you have one, which is your main, and then the rest you can choose any modules that you want. So yeah, this course is really flexible, and it means that you're not limited to one subject. It means that you graduate with a wider understanding of stuff. And then we also have psychology, which is a 3-year program. And we have specialities in the psychology of humor, of sexuality and gender, forensic psychology, in counseling. So yeah, most universities in the UK offer a very similar program, But obviously what's great for us is that our class sizes are really small. Whereas in other universities, if you study psychology, you'll probably be in a lecture theatre with 200 people, whereas here it would be 15. So that's kind of the main difference. Yeah, this is a list of our facilities. We have a cinema, we have a student bar. There's a lot of food on campus, so you don't have to go outside. And everyone asked me about the living costs in London, but the food on campus is really good and it's cheap. So yeah. We also have a lot of like free fitness on campus, so there's free Zumba and yoga, and we also have football teams, basketball teams, swimming, tennis, all of that. And the competitive sports teams, they play against other universities in London, so that's a good way of meeting other students. Accommodation, so the middle photo is the accommodation on campus. That is kind of more like a US style dorm. So you either have your own bedroom or you share with someone else, and the food is included, so you don't have to make any of your meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But the one at the bottom is our urban nest, so that's off-campus accommodation, and it's by St. Pancras Station, and that is more like an apartment, like a flat share. So you share with maybe 4 or 5 other people, and you have your own bedroom, you have a kitchen, you have like a living area. So that's a bit more independent because you have to cook for yourself. So it just depends. The one on campus is 4 or 5 minutes from your classroom, so that's the positive. But yeah, it's up to you. Every person is different with what they want to do for living. So application, because we're a private uni, there's not a deadline. You can apply to us whenever you want. Obviously, I would recommend the earlier is better, but it's not like other UK universities where you have to go through UCAS, which is like a big system and you choose 5 universities. You don't have to do that with us. And some of our courses, they start in September, and some of them start in September and in January too. So maybe if you wanted to take a bit of time out after you graduate from school, there's the option to start in January, I think mostly for business programs. We have scholarships, so some of them are 100% scholarship, which means that if you get it, your whole university is free for the whole 3 or 4 years. Some are 50%, 25%, and 10%. And these are the different scholarships we offer. If you're in a family, if your family goes to Regents, then you get 10%. And the criteria for the different scholarships, it varies. It's about grades, but it's also about you as a person. So sometimes you have to write an essay saying what you would contribute to university life and that kind of thing. Yeah, and funding, I know that in Sweden you get CSN, and Amalia can help you with knowing how much that covers your studies. So yeah, thank you. Thanks for listening. I think as well, Amalia was passing a list round, so if you don't mind putting your email, and then she can get in touch with you through that.